Welcome back, guys. I'm Zell, and it's time for another Drinkin and Thinkin with Zell. I'm having a little more of that Mountain Dew colored with some Four Roses, and you now have 9 seconds to find your drink of choice. Alright guys, it's an exciting day. SHOT Show 2017 starts this afternoon, 2:15, 2:30, something like that, out in Las Vegas. I'm obviously not going to be there. Some of you will be there, and all of the manufacturers will be there. So today, what I want to do is put out my list of what I think the most exciting brands are going to be to watch for 2017. And, maybe a little bit of why. In the past, I've always watched Kershaw and ZT, same company, Cricket, CRKT, Benchmade, and Spyderco. And really, this year, I don't think any of those companies, except for maybe ZT, are going to be too terribly exciting. Now, my reasoning for that is history. 2016 with Kershaw was kind of a letdown. They released a lot of knives, supposedly. There were some that didn't make it to production. And what they did release ended up not being all that exciting. The 1776 was about the only really interesting knife that came out and came to fruition last year. The grid was all right, but as far as everyday carry, there just wasn't a lot. Chloe, you want to get up here and say hi to everybody? Come here. Come here, bud. And there's Chloe. Everybody's out there. No, you just want to... Okay, I get it. Anyhow, that's our Chloe cameo for the day. And CRKT last year, they were terribly hit and miss as well. They had some quality issues and just not a lot of exciting knives. And then Kit Carson passed away. It was kind of a down year for CRKT too, but they do have a line of knives for 2017 that is interesting. We'll just have to see if they can produce those knives with some quality so that we can enjoy them. Now, Benchmade, who knows? I hope that the Benchmade knives that come out for 2017, the old catalog and the new catalog, have a higher level of quality whenever they hit the end of the line. But, guys, they're not the interesting ones. It's unfortunate. I'd really like for them to be the interesting ones, but the interesting stuff. Hang on. Oh. Where I think the interesting stuff is going to lie this year is Ganzo. I think Ganzo is moving forward on a plan to make it to the store shelves. And like we've talked about in the past, if they make it to the store shelves with some unique designs and the quality that we've seen so far, and yes, I know Ganzo is not always perfect, but their consistency is way better than what we've seen out of some of the other companies, and their price points. Now, if they go to retail and they go to the shelf, the price points are going to rise. We're going to see 25, 30, 35 bucks. Maybe even 40 for some designs. But I think that Ganzo is coming. And I actually think it's a good thing. Like we talked about before, a little pressure on some of the other companies to do something magical, to do something awesome. And from there, I think we've got Kaiser. Kaiser, I wish you guys could get a good website, either that or I don't know the right address. It's hard to sell knives, especially whenever you don't have a storefront presence, if people can't go to your website and look through them and drool over them and all that kind of stuff. So let me know what I'm doing wrong here, because your Facebook page is pretty depleted and your website's from like 2 years ago, the one that I can find anyhow. Enough said there. Somebody help me out if I'm looking in the wrong place. But Kaiser, I've seen a couple of their 2017 offerings. They're coming strong. And they're still coming for that upper mid-range, that 80 to probably 180 or so. And I think that's a good place for them. They're making great knives and using great materials. So I think Kaiser's on the way. And of course, since we talked about Kaiser, we got to talk about WE. We've talked a little bit about this one. This thing is a shot across the bow. Somebody said that in the comments, and you're absolutely right. It's a shot across the bow to everybody that's making a knife in that $70 to $120 category. Because WE knows how to do it and do it right. I've had this thing all apart. If you haven't seen that, check my Instagram. There's nothing but good inside this knife. Now, alright, so there is a couple things I'm going to quibble about, but it's nothing that's terribly bad. And they're not only coming for this level, but they're coming, I think we're going to see some WE knives under that $100 price point. And that is going to be awesome. And I think we're going to continue to see WE knives in that $240 and up. So it makes WE a very interesting player to watch. Now back to the old guard. There's one company out of the old guard that has been quietly doing some very good things. Many people have noticed them and a lot of people haven't. And that's Boker. This Boker Patriot. Made in the USA. Patriot, go figure. Alright, back from some minor technical difficulties. We were talking about Boker. And Boker has this Patriot, and it's really a good knife, guys. We'll get into it more here in the near future. And, they've got this deal with Brad Zinker, and they've come up with a line of gentleman's folders that are just absolutely awesome. I mean, I like every one of them. I wish I could own them all. But, so Boker, with their Boker Plus line, is doing some good stuff. And I expect to see more out of them in 2017. But where things take kind of an odd turn for me is kind of twofold. One, Spyderco. Perennially, they have an exciting lineup. But they've had problems with their Advocate this year. They've had problems with just not, besides the Para 3, it just hasn't been terribly exciting. Maybe they've got some mid-year releases that are really going to, light things on fire. Or maybe they're holding back and going to show some stuff at SHOT Show, or maybe at Blade Show later in the year. We'll see as time rolls on, I suppose. The other side that I was talking about are the smaller companies. And we're talking about Browse Blades, Giant Mouse, and Millet. And you guys know I've got an affection for Browse Blades now. I've got a VR71, right around $200 or so. But there's been some Browse Blades going out for less than that. And they've got this Virtue that was about $200. And Jason Browse and his crew have turned part of their attention to the, I don't know what to call it, the lower end of the semi-custom market. Those price points between $100 and $200. And they're kind of kicking butt there. We've seen the Vendetta. I think that's what it was called. That 4.5-inch blade, aluminum handled model. There's another one on the way that's got more of a sheep's foot blade. And then there was the Razorback. And all of those, I think the Razorback may have been a little more expensive, but still, all of those fit in that lower end of the semi-custom market. And that's a beautiful thing, because I have yet to see anything out of Browse Blades that isn't just pretty much perfect. This VR71 has become one of my favorites. I'm not generally a big knife guy, but this one's kind of changed my mind. And then there's Millet. And Millet on its own, I don't have a Max Evolution here to show you, but Millet on its own with their Max Evolution is pretty freaking interesting. They started up as a company to run silently behind other companies like Browse Blades, Boost Blades, and several others. Koenig. I'm probably pronouncing that one wrong, but they have done really well with that. They have helped this semi-custom market really blossom at reasonable prices. You know, I was looking, I think it was the Boost Blades Aereo, and I'm probably wrong about this, but I think they were rolling in right around $400. That's pretty amazing for a semi-custom knife like that, low production knife. And some of the others out there that are, some of the parts are coming out of Millet, are coming in at really great prices too. And now Millet is going to be making their own line of knives and accessories. They have the Max Evolution already out there, and they've got more to come. That's going to be very interesting to see where those prices fall and see how things play out with the Millet knives. And, you know, that's kind of my overview of things. I think we're also going to see stuff from Fox Knives. I think we're going to see some more stuff from some of the European companies. But Browse, Kaiser, Wee, Millet, and Ganzo so far seem to be the shakers for 2017. You know, we'll look back on this later and see how right I was or how wrong I was. Anyhow, guys, what do you think are going to be the movers and shakers for 2017? SHOT Show starts, it's already going. So we're going to start seeing the new stuff throughout the evening and into tomorrow. And make your predictions now for who's going to have the neatest stuff and who's actually going to get it into production and get it in our hands in a usable form. Anyhow, guys, I really appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me. Whenever we reach 1,000 subscribers, I will get a video done for the giveaway for this knife. And you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.